Okay, so the 2018, the first paper, first question. In which form is data and instruction stored in a computer? So we can simply say it is binary, right? So for the first one, the answer is the same first one, right? And second one is asking which of the following is octal equivalent of decimal 156. So like decimal 156. So we are going to convert 156 into an octal. So 156, it's a decimal one. So when we are converting it to octal, we have to divide it by 8. So 1 and 7 is remaining, 76. There are 9 and 4 is remaining. Dividing it by 8 again. So like 2 and 3 is remaining, right? So 234 in octal is going to be the answer for the second one. Third one, which of the following is binary equivalent of hexadecimal 2b16? 2b16. So all the answers are in binary. So 2b16, when we convert those hexadecimal values into a binary, we are going to write it from 4 bits value, right? Each and every symbol of the hexadecimal, we are going to write it in 4 bits. And you know the place values, those are 1, 2, 4, and 8 in each group. So now we can fill the things. So B means 11. So for 2, we can say it's 0, 0, 1, 0. For the 11, it's going to be 8 plus 2 plus 1. So no values for 0. So it's going to be 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So yeah, it's going to be the very first answer, right? Yeah, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So this is going to be the answer. Okay. Hold on a second, people. Okay, so the fourth one, which of the following list 1001101, like they have given you certain numbers to be made on ascending order, right? So to make this on ascending order, we better figure out what are the values of these. And when we are making things in the ascending or descending order, the best way that we can do is converting those things into a decimal, right? So let's quickly turn these things into the decimals, right? So 1, yeah, hold on a second, people. This is frequently changing my favorites. That would be right. So then we are going to figure out what are the values over here. So like 1001101. This is the binary, right? So let's quickly convert this into the decimals. So the place values are going to be 1248. This is 16. This is 32. This is 64, and this is 128. So what are the values that we are going to consider? It is 128, 16, 8, and 1, because those are the only places which got 1 over it, right? So that means 128 plus 16 plus 8 plus 1. So 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 8 is 20. 22. And 23, 2 is remaining. It is 553, right? So this gives us 153 in decimal. So definitely this particular value should come first, or like the 160 will be there after the binary value. So in the first answers, 160 is after the binary value. Second answer, 160 is before the binary value. So definitely this this particular answer is gone, because 160 is before the binary value. Here has the same thing. 160 is before the binary value, and here they goes together. And then 113, we can find 113 in octal, 113 in octal. So if it is octal, so the this is representing 1, this represents 8, this represents 64. So it will be 64 into 1 plus 8 into 1 plus 1 into 3, which will give you 64 plus 8 plus 3, which is 72 and 75 in decimal. So it is way smaller than the 160 and 153. And that, of course, will make a conflict over here, because this is 153, this is 160, and in between the 75 is there. So definitely that's not going to be the answer. So definitely the fourth one is going to be the answer. Let's cross-check the answers with the marking scheme as well, people. So the answers we had so far is 1, 2, 1, 4. So yes, it's 1, 2, 1, 4. Yes, so that is correct. Okay, is that clear, everyone? The workings? Right, great. So moving to the fifth one, in which of the following number system is the number 800 a valid number? Yeah, when it comes to the number 800, it has the two unique characters, which is 8 and the 0. So 8 and 0 are characters of the decimal and the hexadecimal. Binary does not have the character 8. Again, octal does not have the character 8. It's only from 0 to 7. So definitely it's decimal and the hexadecimal. So the answer is going to be the second one, decimal and hexadecimal. Consider the following logic circuit. Which of the following is equivalent to the above circuit? Yeah, so for that we have to solve this. Right, so let's see how this is going to go. So here it's going to give me A plus B, right? So this gives me C, and this is going to give you A plus B dot C, and here it comes with the D, so it is A plus B dot C dot D, and here we got E, and here we got E bar, and this is an O gate. So A plus B dot C dot D plus E bar. Right, so that's going to be, so the one which we are having is what? This is wrong because D and E bar has put inside the bracket, so it is wrong. Second one is going to be the answer. First one is wrong, these operators are incorrect. Fifth one is anyway wrong. They have used pluses, right? Over here, not over here, but over here. So it is wrong. So the second one is going to be the answer. Right. So the seventh. For given inputs, which of the following logic circuit provide the same output? Yeah. So in these kind of things, we know how to do this now. We are going to figure out what should be the output. Then we have to draw that truth table for these things. Then we are going to figure out how the output is going to be. So here, this is going to produce A dot B. Here we got B over here. So A dot B dot B, right? Here we are receiving A. So this will give you A plus A dot B dot B. And in here, this is going to be A dot B. From here it receives A, so this will give you A plus A dot B. This one. And here this will have A, this will have A plus B. And this will give you A dot A plus B. A dot A plus B. All right, so now we know what are the three outputs. This is a one, this is another, and this is the other. So we draw the truth table. So it's A column and B column. So the combinations will be like this. We know about these combinations. So let's create the very first one. So to do that, we need A dot B first. So A dot B is going to give you a 0, 0, 0, and a 1. And again, A dot B dot B, which can create from these two. So it's going to give you again 0, 0, 0, and 1. And now we are going to create A plus A dot B dot B. So to do that, we need this and these columns to get added. So 0 plus 0 is going to be a 0, 0 plus 0 is going to be a 0, 1 plus 0 is going to be a 1, 1 plus 1 going to be a 1. Right, and we can create A plus A dot B as well. That's the second output. So this is the first output. The second output is going to be A plus A dot B that gives you this and these two things to add together. So it's going to give you the same one, right? Because 0 and 0 going to be a 0, 0 plus 0 going to be a 0, 1 plus 0 going to be a, I'm sorry, going to be a 1. 1 plus 1 is going to give you a 1. So that is the second answer. So the third one is A dot A plus B. So we don't have an A plus B. First of all, we have to create a plus B. So A plus B can be recognized by these two. So it's going to be 0, 1, 1, and a 1. So now to have the A dot A plus B, so we are going to consider what? The A and this particular one, right? So 0 and 0 going to give you a 0. It's a multiplication that we are doing. 0 dot 1 going to give you a 0. 1 dot 1 going to give you a 1. 1 dot 1 going to give you a 1. Right? So now you can see everything is going to give you the same answer, the same pattern, right? Can you recognize that? Here, here, and over here. Those are the three outputs we had from these circuits. So everything is correct. So answer is going to be the fourth one. Yes, is that clear, everyone? Okay. Great. So the eighth one, when a new printer is connected to a computer, installing a special software is usually required for the proper functioning of the printer. What is this special software called? It is called the device drivers. Device drivers are the special software. We need a particular peripheral device to be introduced into a computer system. So the second one is going to be the answer, right? The defragmenter, file manager, task manager, they are doing some separate utility services. Ninth one, which of the following is first activated when a computer is switched on? So when the computer is switched on, the very first program that is being activated is power on self-test, which is POST. But here POST is not there. Since it is not there, we can go with the BIOS, basic input output system. So according to the POST, the BIOS will be activated with the CMOS settings, right? So the very first one, the very first program that we can think is the POST, but since it is missing over here, we can go for the BIOS as well. 10th, which of the following can be applied to a blank table in a word process document? Color in cells of a table. Yes, that is possible. Merging, adjoining cells in the table. Possible. Inserting cells into a table. Possible again. So all three things are correct. Right? It is possible in Word as well as in Excel, all these things, right? So let's check the answers from which to which. We checked it until fourth one. For the fifth and sixth, it's 2. Yes, for the fifth and sixth, it's 2. The other 4 are going to be 4, 2, 1, 4. So yes, 4, 2, 1, and 4. Yes, so those are correct. Okay, moving forward with the 11th, which of the following tool can be used to find a given term in a word process document. If you want to find a given term, you need to use the find option or the find tool, which is where the icon is a binocular, right? This is to create a link. This is to check the spelling and grammar. This is to change the cases, right? So the first one is going to be the answer for the 11th. Consider the following steps used in printing invitation to a list of invitees using mail merge facility of a word processor software. Create the invitation letter as, so we have to go with the things that they are going to tell here. So they got only 2 letters, P in both these places, Q in both these places. So create the invitation letter as the master document, right? So that is what we can go with the things that they have produced here, right? So we have to create the invitation letter as the master document. So it's not the third, it's not the first one. Yes, Susu, it's not the 4th one. Yes, Susu, what's the problem? Right. Sorry for that, people. Today I'm alone with my little one. Okay, so the first and the 4th answers are gone because the master document should be P. Create and save the list of invitees with their addresses as the data source, right? It is where we store the things, which are the fields that is going to be changed in our document. Like, like when we do in the mail merge, the most of the document is not going to be changed. There will be several things that are to be changed to create different kinds of letters or like different kinds of recipients. So only those things will be saved into a data source and later will be used through the mail merge facility. So it should be the master document and the data source. So since this has the treasurer, we are not going to consider it as a correct one. So the second one is going to be the answer. 13th and 14th, it is based on this Excel, right? So it's kind of a equation that they have used in here. It's like y px square plus qx plus r. So the value for the x is given. So they are going to generate value for the y using the value of p, q, and r. So the values of p, q, and r will be over here, right? So the range of the x, they have mentioned about these cells, right? So let's say what they are asking. What is the formula that has to be written in cell D2 to get the value of y when x is -2? Right? Doesn't matter what is the value of the x. What they are asking is what should we write over here, right? So we can use this equation to figure out the equation that we need to write inside the the cell D2, right? So P's value is in B2, I'm sorry, in B1. So you have to take B1, right? And need to multiply it with square of X. So B1 is going to be multiplied with C2, and again it's need to be multiplied with C2, right? So if we look into the equations, in the first one it says $B$1 multiplied into C2 multiplied into C2, which is correct, right? Because it doesn't matter we use the absolute cell reference with this, because the value of the P, which is in the B1, is not going to change. So nothing happens if we use the what we call the absolute cell reference with the B1. So it is multiplying with the X squares, like X into X, right? So C2 into C2, that is correct. In the second answer, they have said like B1 plus C2 into C2. Here they have used plus mark, which is going to give you an error. So second one is out. In the third that they have said, multiply B1 and C2 first, then goes for the square. This gives you the square. But it is not the case. We take B1 and C2 should be multiplied by a C2 again, right? Otherwise, B1 into C2, like if you think about the the values matter, it's going to give you something different, right? So here we are facing a problem, right? So for that reason, we can take the third one out. And here they say $B$1, $C$2, $C$2. Now, since they haven't mentioned that this is being copied into the other areas of Y, it's not a problem to have something like this, right? So still, these three seems quite okay, right? So the next one is QX. The Q's value is in B2 and should be multiplied by C2 with C2 again, because it says QX, right? So now we are trying to figure out the B2 with C2. So here they got $B2 into C2, which is correct. Here they have made a mistake. $B2 plus C2. So because of that, this is also incorrect. So the correct answer can be taken as the first one. Is that clear to you, people? Right, great. Okay, moving to the 14th, assume that you have copied the formula in D2 to cell range D3 colon D6 to get the other values of Y. What is the formula to be written in cell D7? Cell D7 to get the highest value of Y. Okay, so now that's a quite easy one. So they are searching for the highest value. So to find the highest value, we should find the max, right? So the third one is going to be the answer. Yeah, Saran, once we are done with these papers, we'll try if we got a time. Right. Going to the 15th, what would be displayed if the formula goes like this? into a cell in this spreadsheet. So now when there are a lot of operators, we have to think about the precedence. So first the brackets, then the to the powers, then the additions, then the there are like divisions are also there. So what is going to happen is these two things will be considered first, and apart from those two, this is going to be considered as the very first one. This is going to be considered as the second one, because of this one is the one which meets first from your left. So then once it is done, there are two operators which is exponential, so it will be considered as the third, with the third priority. Once the brackets are done, then this will be considered, and very finally this plus is going to be considered, right? So let's see how this is happening. Now 6 minus 2, I'll write the equation over here, equals 6 minus 2 exponential 2 plus 5 plus 4 divided by 3. So it's going to be 6 minus 2 is 4 exponential 2 plus 5 plus 4 happen 9 divided by 3. So now 4 exponential 2 is going to happen 16 plus 9 divided by 3. So 16 plus 3 is going to happen, and 19 is going to be the final answer. So the third one is going to be your answer. Okay, so the 16th, which keys in the set, enter key, escape key, spacebar, can be used to go to the next slide in the slideshow view of a presentation? Definitely the escape key will not allow you to go to the next slide. It's going to end the presentation. So escape cannot be there, right? So definitely, since there are other two keys, where they got escape key, so it is wrong. Here they got escape, it is wrong. Here they got escape, it is wrong. So the first one is going to be the answer. Right, 17th. A person inserts his automatic teller machine card into the bank ATM and enters the PIN code. Then he enters the amount of money he wants to withdraw. After checking the available balance in the account, the ATM dispenses the money, updates the balance, and displays the new balance. Which of the following lists an input, process, and output in the given scenario respectively? Amount of money, yes, that can be taken as an input. So the first one is okay, second one is okay. New balance is not an input, it's an output that we can have. So third one is wrong. Updating the balance is a process, not the input, so it is gone. So then the process, new balance is going to be an output. So the first one is out. So definitely the answer is going to be the second one. Right, so amount of money to withdraw is an input, updating the balance is a process, new balance is an output. 18, which of the following occurred during the evolution of computer technology from the first generation to the current means the fifth one, the one that we are using today. So processing power of computers increase. Yeah, that is true. It has been increased, the processing power. Number of transistors per square centimeter in the CPU increase. Number of transistors per square centimeter in the CPU increase. Yes, because it evolves the technology. So the vacuum tubes were replaced by the transistors. Transistors were replaced by the ICs. ICs are again made out of transistors. So like if you think about number of transistors per square inch or a square centimeter are going to increase. right? So it can be argued on the other way as well, like, hold on. Yeah, it's something controversial, right? Because it is like, for sure, in one case, it's going to increase the number of transistors in a square centimeter because the technology is getting advanced and advanced. But yeah, when it comes to the, since they are talking about CPU specifically, yes, we can argue with it, but I doubt whether what they have choose, like, since the, like when it comes to the newer generations, it's not the transistors that we are talking about, but the base technology is going to be the transistors. So let's think it is okay for the moment, and we'll cross check it with the MCQ, the answers, right? Storage capacity of a computer increase, definitely. So it seems to be the fourth one. Let's cross check it. The 18th. Yeah, 18th, it's the fourth. Yes, so now it is correct. Right, so all four are correct. 19th, which of the following is suitable for durable storage of data in computer? So durable storage means something that is going to store the data permanently. Cache memory will erase the data when the power is disconnected. RAM goes the same way. Video memory goes the same way. Answer is going to be the hard disk, or which indicates a permanent storage, right? 20th, which of the following lists only input devices? Easy one: keyboard, barcode reader, CD-ROM, flatbed scanner. So keyboard is input, barcode reader is input, CD-ROM is it is considered as a secondary storage, and flatbed scanner, yes, it is an input device. So now the problem is in the all other answers, like keyboard, webcam, touchscreen, flatbed scanner. So keyboard is an input, webcam is an input, touchscreen is an input and an output device, flatbed scanner, again an input, right? And here mouse, the third one, mouse, keyboard, definitely input, flatbed scanner, definitely input, touchscreen, again input and output. Even the fourth one has an input and output, which is touchscreen. So it's not very fair, people. I think the answer goes with the 20th as the first one. So yeah, but it's not fair because CD-ROM, it's kind of a storage device, not an input device, right? But since the touchscreen has taken as the input and output device, and the question is asking about only input device, they may have gone for this. But CD-ROM, definitely there is a conflict, right? So the 21st, which of the following can be used to measure the clock speed of the central processing unit of a computer? So it's done by the hertz, which is from gigahertz. So the clock speed, that means the speed of a CPU done by gigahertz, right? It's not by gigabytes, not megabytes per second. That's kind of a speed of a connection. Revolutions per minute, RPM, that is going with the hard disks kind of thing, how the platter is going to rotate, how many rounds are there per minute, likewise, right? So for the 21st, second one is the answer. Question number 22nd and 23rd, based on the table that is given below. What is a suitable field for the primary key? Book ID 2304, 2305, 2306. It's kind of a unique values that they got there. And it's good to become a kind of a primary key, right? And the book name, definitely not going to be a primary key, because ICT for your life, you can see it is being repeated over here. So second is not going to be. ISBN. Now, when it comes to the ISBN here, it's better you look closely. This got 97, 89, 55, 66, 82, 015. Since it is the same book, the book ID 2305 contains the same ISBN. 97, 89, 55, 66, 82, 015. So when the books are when there are copies of the book, it contains the same ISBN, because ISBN is there to recognize a particular publication uniquely, right? So in this case, ISBN is not a good one to choose as a primary key. Publisher ID, you can see it is been duplicates again, so not the correct answer. Here, book ID is going to be the correct answer. So 23rd, what is the suitable field for the foreign key? That's not good, people. Yeah. So book ID is the primary key. So they are asking about this table. So primary key of this table, which is the book ID, is not going to be a foreign key to that particular table. If we use book ID on another table, for that table, book ID is going to be a foreign key. So book ID is not going to be a foreign key. And to become a foreign key, it should have the qualities of a primary key, and it must be a primary key. And we can say the book name is never going to be a primary key. Edition is never going to be a primary key. What is possible is publisher ID, right? But it's better they mention it in the question that the publisher table has the primary key as publisher ID, right? So yeah, so the fourth one could be the answer for this. Binadi, about your question. No, Binadi. The data type of a primary key can be several data types. Like it can be a number, so we can just mention it only by numbers. It can be a text, right? In most frequently those two types, right? Not that we are having in the currency type, not in the years, no type. It is either a number or a text, right? We can't say it is always a text. Okay, so moving forward, 24th, consider the following two tables named marks and subjects. Marks table, the subject tables are there. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding the marks and subjects tables? So the first one, admission number and subject code in marks table is a composite key. Admission number and subject code. So they are talking about these two things. So admission number alone cannot be a primary key for sure. And subject code alone cannot be a primary key, that is for sure as well. So admission number, subject code, if we consider those two things together, this provides us a unique value, as well as this provides us a unique value together. This is providing a unique value together as well as this is providing the unique value. So that can be suggested as a correct statement. Admission number is a primary key in marks table. Definitely not. When it comes to the marks table, the possible primary key is going to be the admission number plus subject code, a composite one. All right, so definitely not a primary key to the marks table. Subject code is a foreign key in marks table. Of course, because in subject table, subject code is the primary key. As you can see, the unique values. So when it is being used inside the marks table, so it is foreign. So this is correct. There is a one-to-many relationship between subject table and marks table. One-to-many. One subject can have many admission numbers, or like many admission numbers. One-to-many, let me see. if you take one admission number, for one admission number, there are many subject codes, right? And again, for a one particular subject code, there are many admission numbers as well. So like that means if we take marks and subject, I'm sorry, admission number and subject, right? Not the marks. Admission number and subject. One admission number has many subject and one subject has many admission numbers. So actually the subject and the marks table contains, hold on. They are talking about subject and the marks table, right? Okay, one subject has many marks. Yeah. Now it's a little bit tricky, people, right? So admission number goes with the student table. Auntie, yes, Susu. I want to put these in my eyelashes. What about Ammi? Me? Did Ammi permit you to have those? No. Then you can't have that. But Susu. Dad, I was trying to be pretty with these. Yeah, you can be pretty with those if Ammi permits to you, Susu. Ammi got permits me. So Ammi. Go on. All right, sorry for that, people. So if we think about the student and the subject table, so because admission number is representing a student, so student and subject tables having a many-to-many relationship in between. One subject has many admission numbers and one admission number has many subjects. But here what they are asking is the relationship between subject and the marks. So in that case, we have to figure out the subject code and the marks, right? So one subject code has many marks. Can you see that? So 33 has 69, 33 has 78. But if you consider one particular mark, it has only one subject. It belongs to a specific subject code. Right, one particular mark is having for one particular subject. So it can be taken as a true one, right? But again, when it comes to these kind of scenarios, we are not talking about the relationship in between this third table. This is the third table that we are creating when it is come to a many-to-many one. If you can remember in the database lesson, when the subject is many, when the relationship is many-to-many, we create a third table to define the relationship. So it's only that we are talking about a many-to-many relationship in between student and the subject, student and the marks. I'm sorry, the student and the subject, but not individually with the subject and the marks. Hold on. Okay, so anyway, people, so we have figured out what's the incorrect one. The fourth one is a little bit confusing, but we can take, they are asking for the incorrect one. So incorrect one is the second answer for sure. Okay, the 25th, which of the following is correct regarding a database? A collection of fields makes a record, a collection of records make a table, and a collection of table makes a database. Yeah, it's kind of a correct one. Collection of fields means it's kind of cells, which makes a record. So those kind of records will create a table, and collection of tables will create a database. All right. So it seems to be the correct answer, the first one. So let's go for the second, third, and fourth. A collection of fields make a table. No, it is wrong. A collection of records make a field. Not again, it's the other way around. A collection of table makes a record. No, again. So the answer is the first one. 26th, which of the following list shows the most suitable media to transmit data with copper wire, reflection of light, and radio waves respectively? So copper wire, definitely there should be a copper wire, and when it comes to the reflection of light, it must be the fiber optics. So fiber optics should be the second answer. Here the second answer is twisted pair, incorrect. This is going to be the answer. The fiber optics goes as the second option. Here we got Wi-Fi in all these two, so it's not going to be the reflection of light. So the second answer is going to be, the third answer is going to be the answer. Twisted pair, it has copper wire. Fiber optics, it used the reflection of light. Radio waves, yes, Wi-Fi is made out of radio waves. 27th, if www.google.com website is at the IP address 172.217.27.4, which of the following is used by the web browser to find the IP addresses of the Google site to send the HTTP request? So definitely this particular web address must be converted into this particular IP address. Then only the web browser will be able to find the Google, the web server, right? So the conversion of from the domain name into an IP address is done by a DNS server, right? Web server is the place which holds the google.com. It is not involved in conversion, right? So the google.com will be converted into the IP address by the DNS server, which helps the web browser to find the IP address of the Google site. So the 27th, first one is going to be the answer. 28th, if a person wants to send 200 MB files to another person through the internet, which of the following methods are suitable? Attach to an email and send it. Email cannot have this amount of files to be attached, so it is incorrect. It's kind of like how many, 30 to 60 MB kind of attachment, not like 200 MB big attachments. Use FTP service to transfer the file. Yes, file transfer protocol will help. Use an online storage drive such as Google Drive and send the link, of course. So B and C is going to be the answer for the 28th. 29th, which of the following tools can be used to color the figures shown on the right in yellow using an image editing software? Yeah, if I need to color this from yellow, I need the pen bucket. This pencil, now someone can argue that pencil is also there to do the coloring part. Yes, that there is a rationale, right? So, but we usually use the third. Right, so 29th, let's first check the answer. Yeah, it is said as the third. In pencil, we are just drawing the lines, like when we are like drawing the lines very closely, we can color it like this. but it's not the general way that we are coloring a picture, right? So the 30th, for the 29th, third one is the answer. 30th, which of the following statement regarding the waterfall model relating to the system development life cycle are true? In this model, activities of each phase are completed before starting the work in the following phase. Yeah, that is true, because waterfall model, like it happens like a waterfall. When one phase is done, then only we can move to the next phase. So the statement A is correct. This model helps to develop an initial basic system, which is developed into a full system in an iterative incremental fashion. No, that belongs to the iterative incremental model. This is not the waterfalls nature. In waterfalls, what is happening is like one particular phase is done, then move to the next phase. Likewise, at the last phase, the client will be seeing the full and final product. In this model, usually the user sees the system at the initial phase of the system development lifecycle. Not again. The user won't be able to see it in the initial phases. They are going to see it in the very last phases. All right. So it's A only. It's going to be the answer. 30th. Okay, people, we are done up to 30. How about the situation? Is it clear? Any particular questions regarding this? Right, okay. So I'm moving from the 31st onward. The column on the left below show 4 types of system development methods labeled A to D that can be used to make new system operation. That can be used to make a new system operational. Yes, the right side column gives a description of 4 different methods of deployment indicated by the label P2S. So they are asking what's going to be the relation. Direct deployment. So installs a new system to select group of users in an organization. Install new system to a selected group of users in an organization. That's what we call pilot implementation. Only to a limited people, the full system is given. Once it is done and they confirm it is okay, then the entire system, entire organization is going to have the system. In the queue, it says installs a new system and make it operational in the series of steps. If it is going to be done in the series of steps, it's going to be the phase deployment, right? Step by step, it's going to install. Installing a new system quickly makes the system operational and immediately turns off any overlapping system, which is called the direct deployment. And definitely operates the old and the new system together. That is happening in the parallel deployment. So for A, it's going to be R. For B, it is going to be S. For C, it is going to be P. For D, it is going to be Q. So A with R, so the first one is gone. B with S, because of this, second one is gone. And C with P. Yeah, so fourth one is gone. Third one is going to be the answer. Right, okay, 32nd. What is the correct HTML statement for inserting an image? IMG tag must be used. They have used an image tag over here. There is nothing called image. And the SRC attribute must be there to define the particular image that we are going to use. Here they have used href, here they have used ALT. So these two are going to be wrong. As well as when you are defining the image, there should be image name as well as the extension. Here they don't have the extension, so that gives you the same incorrectness. So anyway, the answer is going to be the first one. So SRC defines what is the picture. ALT defines what should be the alternative text to be shown if the picture does not load onto the particular web page. 33rd, which of the following statement regarding image compression are true? With lossless compression, every single bit of data that was originally in the file remains after the file is uncompressed. Yeah, that is what you call lossless. So when you are compressing, no data is going to be vanished or being disappeared. And when you extract it, it's going to be the same amount of data that is going to be there, which it has before the compression. That is lossless compression. If it is a lossy compression, then certainly you are going to lose some of the data regarding the picture, which helps or which will be result in low quality. So lossy compression is used to reduce data size for storage, handling, and transmission. Yes, that is why we use lossy compression, right? If you want to reduce the size of a particular picture, we can use lossy compression, but it will definitely result with low quality regarding the image. Lossy compression creates large file size than lossless compression. And now that's going to be a false one, because lossy compression creates smaller size than the lossless compression, right? So this is incorrect. So the answers are going to be A and B. Let's cross check it. 33rd. Yeah, it's the second one. 34th, which of the following is not an example for an e-government services? Accessing GCE O-level results from the website of Department of Examination. That is an example for e-government. The Department of Examination is a government body or a government organization. So it is providing a service to the citizens who are the students as an online. So it is an e-government application. Buy an item from an online shop. Now that is not an e-government service, definitely, because online shop, we don't know whether it is going to be a government one or a non-government one. Like in most of the cases, unless this is something like Salu Sala kind of things, okay, the shops are private companies or the businesses, right? So buying an item from an online shop, definitely not an example for an e-government. So this is wrong, and that is going to be the answer. Downloading national identity card application from the Department of Registration of Persons. Yes, that is correct one. Paying water bills online on the website of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. Drainage Board. Yes, that is correct as well. So second one is going to be the answer. 35th. Consider the following pseudocode segment. Payment option equals false. Yeah. Then what are they asking the question? Which of the following statement is correct according to the above pseudocode? Okay, so they say payment option false. If distance larger than 100, then payment option gets true, assigned with true. If vehicle type equals bus, then payment option assigns with false. Okay, so they got end if, two end ifs, so they have two ifs over here. So yeah, it is going to be a little bit tricky. Payment option at the beginning, it is false. If the distance is larger than 100, then the payment option is true. If the vehicle type is bus, again, the payment option is going to be false. So the condition is mapped into a one particular place. If distance equals 99, okay, and vehicle type equals car, then payment option will be made true. They are talking about the values that they are going to go. Okay, so that will be easy. If distance equals 99, distance equals 99 means this is wrong, right? So that is wrong means if this is wrong, you directly go to the end if. So the payment option is false. So they said the payment option will be made as true. So it is wrong. because this if will be reached if this one is proven true. So if distance is 99 and vehicle type is bus, it doesn't matter. The payment option will be made true. No, it's wrong again. If it is equal to 99 means it is not larger than 100. That means this is false. This is false means it's directly come to the end if. So it is wrong again. So third one, if distance equals 101, and now the case, the first one is true. This is true when the distance is 101. And then it makes the payment option true. And then it checks the second one. If the vehicle type equals bus, the payment option will be false. So vehicle type equal bus means this is true again. So of course, payment option makes false. So the third one is going to be the correct answer. Fourth one is wrong. It is because even though the first condition is true, if the vehicle type equals car means this is going to be false, right? That means from here it comes over here. Then after once it reach over here, it directly reaches this end if. Then it reaches here and then the program is done. So that means it will remain true if the vehicle type is not equals to bus. So this says false, so it is incorrect. So the third one is going to be the answer. Is that clear, everyone? Right. Okay, great. Moving to the 36th, marks obtained by 10 students for the ICT paper is given in the following array A, which has indexing starting at 0. Okay. Which of the following index item can be used to retrieve the highest mark? So the indexing starting with 0, it says. So if the indexes are starting with 0, that means this has the index 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 will be reached. So the highest mark, what is the highest mark over here? It's the 93, right? This is the highest mark. Yeah, so if it is the highest mark, this is going to be the index of the highest mark. So if the array's name is A, highest mark is referenced by A within square bracket 7. Right? So the answer is going to be the third one. 37th, how many times will the dollar mark be displayed after the execution of following pseudocode? Okay, so let's trace this and see. So it begins, P is equal to 0. So P is equals to 0. It is a repeat until structure. P mod 2 is given to the queue. So P is 0, 0 mod 2, mod is going to give you the remainder. So P is 0, 1 0 is divided by 2, remainder is 0. So Q is given the value 0. Then this is asking a question whether the Q is equals to 1. So no, it's not going to display it. It directly comes to the end if. So P is increased by 1. So P will become 1. Then it checks the condition whether P is less than 5. P less than 5. P is 1 less than 5. So 1 is less than 5 means it's a true thing. So you know that repeat until works if the condition is false. Now the condition is true, so it ends. So it's never going to show you the things. Oh my God. Is going to be there. Did I miss anything? Let me see, P0, repeat 0 mod 2, which is remainder is 0. So Q is not equals to 1, not going to display anything. P is equals to P, yes, P is going to be 1, 1 less than 5. 1 is less than 5, that is true. So if it is true, it's not going to repeat. It ends 37, the answer should be all. Yes, people. There is a problem with the question. So the answer is going to be all. If this operator goes the other way around, right? If it happens to be P larger than 5, then of course we could do some hand tracing. So this is a question which gives you mark for any particular answer. 38. Consider the flowchart of the right which inputs a number and displays the message valid mark if the input number is between 0 and 100. What should be the correct terms for the label P, Q, and R respectively? So it checks whether a number is in between 0 and 100. So they take a value. So the value n is checked larger than or equals to 0. So if it is years, that means it could be an eligible one because it is larger than 0 now. So then in this condition, it must be checked whether it is less than or equals to 100. So P is going to be n less than or equals 100. Right, so let me check with the yes and no part. Sometimes the condition is going to depend on the yes and no part. So yes, we are there to define the R and the Q, which is yes and no. So if P indicate, let's say n less than or equals 100, Q is going to be yes, R is going to be no. And that's not the only case, people. I can ask the question in the other way around as well, right? So that means if I ask the question like n larger than 100, right? And I can make Q as no and R as yes. This is also an alternative answer for this, right? Because this particular condition decides what to be displayed, right? That condition can be asked in two different ways. But in this case, we are given with only one particular chance, right? So n equals 0 will not give you a good answer, right? Because if you got something less than 100, it's not going to prove, right? 100 මුණොත් විතරයි years පැත්තට එන්නේ. So third and fourth is not going to be a correct one, definitely one off from 1 or 2. So Q is going to be yes and R is going to be no. So the answer is going to be the second one. People, is that clear? Okay, great. Moving to the 39th. Which of the pseudocode is equivalent to the logic of the flow chart on the right? Okay. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, right? So you have to be very careful when you are dealing this kind of things. So it generally starts, it takes C, and here what they have done is F equals 9 into C. So this is the F that they are going to use over here. That F is divided by 5 and again assigned to the F. This F is going to use over here. That F is given the added with 32 and assigned to the F again, and that F is displayed, right? So Begin should be there. It is there in all four answers. Read C. Yeah, that is there in all four answers. F equals 9 into C. This is correct. And this is 3F. Now that's going to make you a problem, right? One thing we are not writing things like that. Second thing, 3F, I don't know, it's going to give you a different kind of variable, not the F, right? And in the second one, it has a big equation. We'll come to that. Here it says F equal 90 to C. And in the so the second one is gone. So in the first one, it says F equals F plus 32. Now that's going to be the problem. After this, if this is happen alone, next one must be this. So this is wrong as well. So first one is gone, fourth one is gone. Third one is going to be the answer. And why third one is the answer? It says multiply 9 with C, which is this part of the F, and divide it by 5 then, which is this part, and then add 32, which is this part. All right, so that is why third one is going to be the correct answer. Right, so the 39, the third one is the answer. People, is that clear? Okay, great. So the 40th, which of the following is correct regarding programming languages? A machine language uses binary digits, bits, base instructions, which a computer can understand. A machine language uses binary digits based instruction which computer can understand. Yeah, that is correct. Machine language is made out of ones and zeros, which we call the binary digits. So that is correct. Assembly is a low-level machine-dependent programming language which uses symbolic representation of machine code. Yeah, that is also correct because there are only two types of low-level languages, which is the machine code and the assembly code. Assembly code has a limited amount of symbols to indicate, and it is very much similar to the machine code. The only difference is like what is being there from ones and zeros. In the machine code, they have represented using small symbols and some instructions, right? So we can take that as a correct one. High-level programming language are machine independent. Yeah, that is correct as well. So everything is correct. So the fourth one is going to be the answer. Yes, no, those are called mnemonics. Okay, so people, we are done with the 40 questions. So see how much you got out of 40 and let me know as well. Onetra, very good. That's a very good mark. In case if you want any particular answer, so I'll show you the marking scheme now. So you can go through in case if you want any answer. Bisanti, that's very good. Saran, that's very good. Dulagi, that's very good. Right, well done, people. Everyone has like Minha. Okay, just another 1 mark for you to go. Himidiri, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Right. So everyone has went out of 30, like beyond 35. So I'm very happy for that. Okay. Binadi, well done. Well done. All right. Okay, so we got another 4 minutes. So within 4 minutes, can we do one of these? No, it's no point of going for this neither. Yeah, never mind. So people, I'm going to end the session from this point. So by next week, I'm going to finish this one and move into the MCQs of the 2019 as well. That's my expectation. So get ready with the 2019, right? So now we are halfway through of the 2018. So get ready with 2019. If you got a chance, we are going to do that as well, right? So for this week, try the 2019 and finish the both papers, first and the second. Time it and do it very well, right? And I'll see you on next week for the very same time. Now, since we are having this O levels and still we have to discuss 2 more papers other than the 2018, let's have the next week session, right, people? So it's on 17th. I don't think you people are going to go on any vacation. So I am thinking to have that day without giving any holidays, right? Since we are having this online and since you have got all the entire week as a holidays. So let's do it on 17th, people, right? Okay, so I'm going to see you on next week for the very same time. So until then, have a very nice weekend, people. And the situation in the country is not good for the moment. I hope it will be good in the future. So it will be happy for everyone. So I will wish you to be happy on this new year in a very good way, right? So keep it up, people. Keep the spirit. Keep doing what you are doing. And I'll see you on next week for the very same time. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice weekend.